All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Freezin for NFC North Podcast, episode 132, NFL Draft 2024. Look back 1 year later. Best and worst. Plus, we'll do a little bit of a 2025 NFL Draft preview in 2 weeks. Crazy. In 2 weeks, it's coming up. I'm going to be there. And also, JJ, you will be there. And lots to talk about on that as well. But before we get started, you can find me on NFL Outdated on Twitter X, on YouTube, and you can find us on the Freezin #4 pod on the TikTok. Let's just kind of go around the horn. Where can we find you, Rhino, as we get started?
On Facebook and YouTube at Vikings Uncensored, on Twitter X at Vikes Uncensored. Live shows every weekend, talking all things Minnesota Vikings.
Very good. And you're the one a part of the coin of the Viking contingent here, obviously. And Dre joining us again. Where can we find you, sir?
You can find me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, or even Blue Sky. It's at Skullman Sports.
Very good. Very good. Yes, like and subscribe. Both of the Viking reps tonight. And where can I find you? Let's move on to the Packers. Where can I find you, JJ?
DerailedFootball.com takes you to our weekly live stream. That's me and Jake Shavink. We talk Green Bay Packers. We talk Northern College football, and we talk NFL Draft. It is a blast. Come hang out with us. We do that every Tuesday evening.
Awesome. Yes, definitely like and subscribe. And a special shout out to you having to drive a half an hour to a studio because you're without Wi-Fi at home, right?
Yeah, pretty crazy. We had a natural disaster at home that we had to evacuate for 9 days. We're finally back home, but it was crazy. A lot of our loved ones, definitely not doing as well as we are. So,
all right.
So yeah, just happy to be here and able to join the show tonight and say that my family is all doing well.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we give each other a hard time on the podcast, but all safety is most important and all of that as well. And, someone who has had to take a break with, coaching. You got many titles now, Rev, you got coach, prognosticator, all these things, draft guru,
relationship guru.
Fantasy football champion.
We'll go that. We'll go there.
We'll just go all
all that. And, all right. Trev.
I have all the rings too.
You?
My name is RevTrevNFL. You can find me on TikTok, X, YouTube, and Facebook. Follow me for tons of Packers and NFL content.
Very good. And on the other side, if we have any hockey followers, obviously your Canucks, Vancouver Canucks, are I don't know, in the playoff hunt, right?
Yeah, it's going to take a miracle. Last night we broke a record, 3 goals in 53 seconds and 1 in overtime. It is an NHL record. It was insane. And guess what? If the Minnesota Wild win any of their games coming up, we're out. So it doesn't matter.
Well, they were
anyways, let's talk about the Packers, the NFL, the draft.
All that stuff. Yes. And someone who is now currently on a record streak until we, get this game on, where can we find you, seventh letter, as we get started?
7th letter 4 on Twitter X, same OG on Instagram and Facebook.
Let me guess what this in the jersey obviously is. We're going to play, and I'm going to at least score some points versus 7th letter here eventually when we play our game. I'm going to guess that's a Paul Pierce jersey.
No.
Oh,
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, that's my boy. I love it.
Brown.
I would have gone with D Brown. Good old D Brown. That would have been
pump up the shoes.
I like that. Jaylen Brown, like my favorite player now. And then
okay,
gotta go old school and go McHale or Bird if you're wearing a Celtics jersey.
Whoa!
I did throwbacks weeks before.
You did.
The Kobe. I did the Nick Van Exel. So now I'm gonna come, I'm saving the best before the draft.
I didn't think you would go Duke, but okay. All right.
Let's go.
Yeah, beach. I love it.
All right. Well, obviously, we got draft on our mind. A lot of people are talking about 2025 draft, and we can certainly we'll start kind of there. But I want to go definitely to some 2024 draft review and all that as well. But let's go ahead and just. Oh, absolutely. That's the fun part, right? Because everyone say, "Oh, we won the draft right after the draft," and everyone knows the Bears won 2024 draft with Caleb Williams. But we'll get into all of that stuff as well.
Okay. Paper champions for what, 6 years running now?
I swear, off-season draft champions.
We're coming. We're coming.
That's a bold take when the Bears, had Jaden Daniels sitting right there and said, "Nah, we good. We good. We don't need Jaden Daniels."
Jaden Daniels is only going to play half the games in 2025. Mark it down here. Half the games. He's going to be injured. He's tiny. He's tiny.
I saw a meme earlier today that was very fitting for being the fact I'm on the show tonight. But we got a wolf to come back from extinction after 10,000 years before the Bears have a 4,000 yard.
I saw that too.
I like that.
Have your fun now, because I'll be having my fun later. But let's go ahead. Any
says every Bears fan every offseason.
We haven't heard that one before.
Man, I'm just all sides. That's why I'm in the corner here. I'm in the corner. All right. JJ, as you kind of get, pumped for the draft in 2 weeks, which we'll both be there as well. Any, players that are really standing out to you from a Packer standpoint that you would love to have?
Man, there's a bunch. And, the last couple of years, I've really tried to adjust my draft
did you hear
strategy.
me, JJ? Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I was just saying, my new draft strategy is just try and fall in love with as many players as possible. So, there's a bunch of guys, big boys up front, Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon, bunch of big defensive linemen who I'm absolutely drooling over. It's a great interior class there. And to be honest, I like the cornerback class as well. It's pretty good there.
Okay, I think last week we talked a little bit about the cornerback class, but obviously, Rev, you haven't been on in a little bit either. Any and really you hit it on the head last year with Edgerrin Cooper. So I'm going to give you another roll of the dice here. Are there players that you're looking at yet, or?
I kind of like with JJ, like those are the needs. So I'm kind of more feeling like I as long as we hit the needs, usually we hit. I don't know. Sometimes I think maybe JJ, this is why you're doing what I did, because it's like Morgan last year. It's like, really? Like, I didn't see that one coming. I know you had talked about him a lot, but it was more like maybe he could. I just didn't see that was the guy we were going after. Yeah. And I was kind of hoping we get Cooper DeJean last year.
Every Packer fan wanted Cooper DeJean, and I was right there with him. We all loved him. He was the obvious pick.
Okay, but here's the thing. Every time the Packers want somebody in the first round and they say, no, we don't do that, it turns out that the fans were right. So if we picked Cooper DeJean, that would have been way better, in my opinion, depending on how Morgan turns out. But when we wanted JSN, we went and got Van Ness, and that's been terrible so far. So I don't really get it. Like, it's like we as the fan base should do the first round, and they can do the rest. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just saying. I'm not saying I'm smarter than the GM. I haven't given up
on Van Ness yet. I still like Van Ness. I was never really quite there with Jordan Morgan. We'll see if he can pan out, but I still like the Van Ness pick a lot better than I've ever liked the Jordan Morgan pick so far.
What I realized is I just wanted every player named Cooper last year.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cooper Beebe would have been awesome as well.
Cooper Beebe.
I'll take Van Ness off your hands if you want to give him up. I'll take him.
Yeah,
you have to fight me for him there. 7th letter.
Van Ness he's young, so and
Yeah.
obviously
And he changed the defense last year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a different scheme. You know what I'm saying? So give him some time. He was a developmental prospect anyway when he was coming out. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
give him some time. He'll be all right. I'll take him. I seen him chase down a running back. I said, "Oh, he got it. He's got
athleticism for days. That man." That man, his ceiling is JJ Watt. So I have no problem being patient with him and seeing what we can develop him into. Obviously, long way to go, but I still really believe in his potential. We got a new defensive line coach in there. Let's see what we can do with him. Let's see if we can coach him up the right way this year and start seeing some of those juicy results, get the counting stats and the playing time that we really like to see.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of juicy take, we went kind of last week round and round, and my juicy take is to hold off, wait on Ashton Genty, and pick a running back, Omari and Hampton. Go with him.
Do it.
So I am okay with the tight end out of Penn State. I think is going to be a star.
Oh yeah,
so,
do the tight end. Do that.
So I'm okay with either one of those, and finding a better running back. Hey, I know we Ashton Genty
definitely has your best interests.
He's I don't know.
I think he should.
That's the most sense you've made in a long time, Andy. I love those.
Who do you love that?
Seventh letter, and I really like watching the Bears draft running backs and tight ends in the first round. We're here for that. We're here for that.
I don't. Cedric Benson. I mean, and Rashawn Salam. Oh, come on. Get out of here. Get out of here with those. So no thanks.
That ain't just like a Bears fan living in the past.
Man, everyone's coming out hot tonight. So seventh letter. What's that?
You put it right on the platter every night, every
Hey, that's my job. Well, we're gonna next week. I want to do our, and I hate these. I really hate them because you just never know what it's gonna be. But next week we'll do our mock draft as we get ready for the draft and all that. And but this week, obviously, kind of talking about players, and you just never know what's gonna fall where. Seventh letter, any kind of final thoughts on some players that you want on the that maybe fit the Dan Campbell kneecap biting style for the Lions?
Dirty. Who's the dirtiest player in the draft? That's his question.
Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah.
We're not dirty, yo.
Yeah, Lions aren't dirty, and the Bears don't live in the past.
We play to the whistle, man. That's all. We play to the whistle. That's what it's called. It's not dirty.
Packers fans aren't cheesy either. All right. We're just I am refraining from all of my my Packer fan digs here. I'm holding back, Trev. It's a new me. All right.
Okay. How long is this going to last? I love it.
It'll last for a little bit. All right. So, Dre, we talked a little bit last week about some of the players that you want. Any now that are kind of still sticking out to you?
I mean, I think, like I said last week, I think the big things that we got to look at is depth. Like we have obviously got good starters, but especially with free agency that we picked up, but I think we need to kind of concentrate at. But the problem is we have so few picks as it is. So it's kind of, I guess, based on what's happening, though there are rumors that other things are going to happen with other free agents that are still out there. At least at this point, I would say that we should go, and rumors aside, I guess, I think we would go corner at this point. Just because like we need to increase that depth, I think a lot. I think right now my favorite is still the corner from Iowa State, Darian Porter. I really like him. I think he's tall. He used to play receiver, I think, back in high school. So I think like, I don't know, like having that type of receiver. I said it last week. Like we haven't had like a dominant corner since like really Xavier Rhodes. So I think that we should pick somebody up like that who has like kind of similar physique that could like be really good. There's a few other ones like the one from Kentucky. I like him. But yeah, I think generally that's it.
Okay. What about you, Rhino? Are you on the same train there?
Well, I think, the rumors that were being alluded to, I have heard a ton of things in various locations that's more than just a rumor. So I don't think cornerback is going to be a position of need. Kwesi did an awesome job the offseason of filling a lot of holes so we can go more towards the best player available. But that being said, there's still 3 spots I think that are going to be targeted. It's either going to be defensive tackle, another guard to move in at the left side, or it's going to be a safety. Guys I'm looking at, I really like Emin Worry out of South Carolina at the safety spot, or Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame. On the defensive tackle side, Walter Nolan, Kenneth Grant. I know the Vikings have had Derek Harmon in for a top 30 visit, so he's on their radar. And then the offensive line, it's a little more, right at the beginning there. I've heard a lot of talk about Booker. And then my guy, Gray Zabel out of NDSU. He's a guy that fits what O'Connell likes to do just because he's got that position flexibility. He played 4 different positions in college, but they're projecting him to kick inside. He can play guard, he can play center, and if you need him to, he can kick out and play tackle again. And I think that flexibility is something that they would really be up for. It just kind of fits that Kevin O'Connell mold. So I think he's a guy to definitely look out for. I guess those are the main guys I'm looking at anyway. I still think there's a very good chance the Vikings probably try to trade back out of 24 just to pick up some additional draft capital, but all depends on the partner for that, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting at that level. I mean, obviously you're still going to get some top level player, but it's not all that different if you trade a little bit back.
Right. I mean, if you it depends, like on does Shadur Sanders fall? If he does, that's a prime spot for, maybe the Browns or the Giants or somebody to trade back in up out of the beginning of the second round to get him.
Right.
He'll fall.
I think he will too. I mean,
we are actually getting breaking news as we are kind of online here. This is there's a source that says Jordan Love is mid. It is breaking here. As we get kind of more clarity on that, let's just kind of
news at 11.
Hey Trev, you gonna let him talk like that? Look at his face.
I'm used to Andy saying stupid stuff.
Well, so
I want the old Andy back that was realistic and it was kind. I want that guy back. That was like 3 years ago, Andy.
It was.
Yeah, I didn't know we were drinking already tonight. But
it was before I was scarred by the whole, a Justin Fields debacle and
right.
how all that and the flus. But as we talk about Packers, we also want to look back. So obviously, it's interesting. You look at in the moment, and you're like, okay, I love that guy. Obviously, I remember doing a video with each of these picks live in Detroit. Jordan Morgan, I was kind of surprised about. I think it seems like that's still up in the air there, but obviously Edgin Cooper, it was a big pick. So I'm going to give Trevor, since you're draft guru here, what's your assessment of this, draft class kind of looking back so far?
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm the hugest Edgin Cooper guy. I was hoping we drafted him in the first round. So when we drafted him, we got to the draft and we went even farther back. I was so excited to watch the Packers work their magic, get extra capital, and still land the guy I was hoping for. Obviously, Evan Williams has to be the other gem out of this draft class. That was just amazing. But what I like about this draft class is we still haven't seen what Marshawn Lloyd looks like healthy. And I'm excited to see him come out and play and really like put on a show. So these are two guys. Hopper is still decent there. I like some of the opportunities that they're going to have to develop. So I don't know. Bullard, still jury's out on that. Jordan Morgan's the jury's out there. I don't know. I kind of like what we have there. I'm still grateful for what we did. I just hope that it's not going to turn into one of those draft classes where it's like, oh man, we screwed up there. But Edgerrin Cooper to me is elite. And how do you get defensive player of the year of the NFC 2 weeks in a row as a rookie? Like, that is insane. And how he did not win rookie of the year still baffles me personally.
That's because he missed some games.
Yeah.
Well, of course, but look at what he did when he was on the field. But I understand. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Giant Goofballs here. Always love the Giants fans coming in here and commenting. Lloyd is more likely to put on a Broadway show than a football show.
Yeah, but the question is like, how's Barkley doing in the Giants uniform?
Oh yeah.
He's going to tour the Meadowlands. Well, is it still the Meadowlands? No, he's going to tour East Rutherford, and he is going to bring his Super Bowl trophy to all the bars in and around the stadium. I think that would be an amazing troll effort if he did that. But on another note, JJ, what are your thoughts on the Packers draft look back from 2024?
Yeah, I didn't like it at the time. A year later, I still don't like it. I think this is one of Goody's worst draft classes he's put together. Having said that, obviously, it's super premature. I can judge the process. I thought the process was flawed. But obviously, we're not going to know for a good 3 years how this draft class actually shapes up. Edgerrin Cooper and Evan Williams had a nice rookie years. Katana Oladapo, for the little bit that he played, I thought he looked like the player that we saw in college, who I was really high on. I'd like to see him get more opportunities this season. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping for a bounce back in terms of the draft strategy this year. Really, really loved the 2022 and 2023 draft classes from Goody. A++ for both of those. And, just from a strategic standpoint, thought that the process could have been better a year ago. Didn't necessarily love some of the players that were picked, and definitely just the positions that were chosen. Hopper to me is just a special teamer. I'm not really sure why we took him as early as we did. I'm not really sure what kind of future he has in the league. I thought last year was just a crazy good offensive line class. There were so many good guards, and really thought we would take some swings there. We really didn't. Maybe we'll see what Jacob Monk can do at some point. Jordan Morgan probably has a future at right guard if he can hack it. I kind of see him more as a left guard, and we kind of have left guard locked up, but we'll see. Maybe we move Aaron Banks to right guard at some point. So we'll see. Give them some time. They're Packers, so I'm going to root for their success. Hopefully LaFleur and Halfley and the guys can, figure out how to, coach these guys up and get some nice careers out of them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of Packer fans have said the in Goot we trust, so it's interesting to see hear kind of both sides of the coin, right? I mean,
well, and I'm a massive, you're not going to find a bigger Brian Gutekunst believer and fan than me. At no point has my confidence ever wavered in him, but I still got to call it like I see it, call a spade a spade. And I didn't think that the process that he approached last year's draft with was as solid as the 2022 and 2023 draft classes. It, just wasn't really what I was expecting from him.
Absolutely. Well, talking about a solid draft class and maybe the winner of the draft, the Bears. All right. So obviously we got Caleb Williams, superstar quarterback, and really showed a lot in year one. Obviously we had some issues holding onto the ball. A lot of that was, offensive line, right? And, in the scheme. So I'm excited for Caleb Williams. I'm excited for Rome Odunze. It would have been nice maybe to get another, lineman at that point. But Rome Odunze, I think, is going to be a, number one wide receiver coming up. So I love that. The one question, Kieran Amagaji, and part of it, he just wasn't ready when they threw him in there, but part of it was the offensive line coach just not being able to really coach him up and just on the footwork when he wasn't in. So that was kind of reach. We'll see kind of what he turns out to be. They're expecting, some good things out of him, coming up. Obviously, one of the surprises of the draft was, the Bears, picking Torrey Taylor, which we thought was going to be the last pick of the draft. And I know everyone scoffed it at the time and probably still do. But hey, Torrey Taylor, he is a weapon, and he's going to be for years to come. So I loved him. Probably one of my favorite picks is Austin Booker at edge in round 5, trading back up into the, for to get him. And I think, and put it down here, bold take, in the Dennis Allen offense or defense, in the Dennis Allen defense, I think Austin Booker is going to turn into the next Max Crosby.
Wow.
So
right.
He has shown superstar potential, and I think he has that ability to be just a late round just gem. So I love looking back even more so. I love this draft class. I love what were able to do with kind of what they had. Obviously, we still have a lot of pieces for 2025. So I will let the rest of the panel chime in on the Bears draft class.
Hey, I think that Bears fans should be celebrating because in Rome Odunze, the Bears got one of only 2 good-looking offensive players drafted last year in the division. All right, Rome Odunze and Christian Mahogany are the only offensive players who had even halfway decent rookie seasons, and Mahogany only played 150 snaps. So hey, kudos to Rome Odunze. Carrying that banner by himself. He's the only offensive player drafted in the division, play more than 150 snaps who looked good for the season. So
that's not a valid statement, though, when the Vikings offensive first rounder was injured the entire season.
I mean, we'll get to that in a second, but hey, I'll take it. Rome Odunze, Austin Booker, Caleb Williams, book it. Bears Super Bowl upcoming, all of that stuff. Any other thoughts on my draft class? I know everyone was excited about that one.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, it looked like a real draft class, and thankfully they're young enough so you don't really lose them. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, like Ben is able to change the culture, and you be able to do something. I hope so.
What I love this week,
I want you to feel what I've been feeling. You know what I mean? Like I've been feeling so good.
What I love this week is it was, they were asking the press conference, the Bears coaches were, and players if they want to win, and said, well, we don't only want to win, we want to dominate. So I love hearing that the Bears
maybe should start by winning first because it's been a while, and then after that, we'll focus on trying to dominate.
Just start there.
Walk before you run kind of thing, yeah.
Hey, we ran on week 18, and I loved it. I love it. I loved every moment about it. Every moment.
Oh shit!
That was elder abuse, and you know it. All right.
I think I'm probably the oldest one here. So, all right, let's move on. So, 7th letter. Looking back with the Lions draft class, obviously, looking back, Terran Arnold. I think you're excited by that. What about the rest of the draft class? Is it a yawn?
Yeah, I didn't like this draft at all in retrospect, but. Terry Arnold was all right. He's not the real cornerback got picked right before him to the Eagles. That was the cornerback I wanted. But Terry Arnold would be good. He's only 20. He just turned 22, so he should be okay. Ennis Rakestraw, I want to see him play a little more. I think he only got in on a couple of special teams. He was hurt. Gianni Manu, developmental guy. Has all the measurables, so hopefully it comes together. You know what I'm saying? So tell it that can go some fucking way. Siani Vaki was a wasted pick. Like, I don't know. He's a straight up special teams dude. I don't see him like really doing nothing, really, unless he, I like him. I like him. I just feel like there was like we could have got some more depth on the offensive line. You know what I mean? Because it was such a good draft for offensive linemen, like especially interior where we needed it. Like it was hella guards, yo. And I had Christian Mahogany when I was doing my little draft prep. Christian Mahogany was up there. So, I mean, we got him in the 6th, so we could have got someone a little bit better than him or equally because Christian Mahogany ended up being pretty good. He started a couple games. He was better than the Graham Glass guy. Wingo was good for us. He was good. I mean, it's solid.
I'd like to see Vaki get some more opportunities on offense. They didn't use him on offense hardly at all. They had, like 25 snaps, something like that. But he looked great when he was out there. He was productive.
He was.
Like, see what they can do with him.
I just feel like we didn't have to do it in the 4th round. You know what I'm saying? Like in the 4th round, I don't think we had to do it. It was
sure.
a luxury pick. It was like a we've arrived pick already. It was like one of those, I guess to the Lions, we got like a style of player that we like, and he does fit the mold of the kind of players we like. Everybody up here does. But except for Terrion Arnold, he seems kind of soft to me. I ain't gonna lie. Kind of a little bit. Little TJ Hawkinson a little bit to me. Like he just smiles too much for me. I don't like that shit.
I remember back when Lions fans thought that Hawk was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Then all of a sudden, he started wearing a different shirt for some reason, different colored jersey for some reason. I can't remember why he did
and then
that.
all of a sudden they hate him.
You know what?
All of a sudden he's like,
well, they did the same thing with Matt Stafford too. So
no. We love Matt Stafford. No. Matt Stafford finally was a big boy and said, "I gotta go." He should have been left 3 years before that. You know what I'm saying? Fat boy came to the team, he should have left. All right. Don't get me started with that shit. I was happy to see him go. It was like he just got released from prison. You know what I'm saying? Like he got his little his plastic bag on his back, and he and his ugly ass wife left. Thank God. All right. TJ Hawkinson, I never liked him. When he was on, when I first came to this podcast, I said we needed to trade him. I just didn't think we'd get a second round for him. Thank you, Vikings. Thank
Who
you.
did he turn into?
He's a bum. They know that they gave up too much for him. They know that. If they're really honest, they know they gave up too much.
Who what players did they flip him for?
Oh man. I think we got the best tight end in the division with him. His name is Sam Laporta. I think we also flipped that into that wasn't the Jameson Williams one that we got. I don't think so.
No, that was the year before.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think we got Sam Laporta and Brian Branch or somebody. Either one of those we got for him. You know what I mean? And they both were second-round picks in that draft. Like we ate off TJ Hawkinson trade. I thought we did real good with that. I never was a fan of him. And Terrion Arnold, I'm not a big fan of him either. But hopefully he comes around. I like Ennis Rakestraw better. Because he's tough. Terrion smiled too much.
Yes,
man, when he got all mushed out of bounds on this in San Fran, I'm like, oh, he can't fight. Oh my God,
I do not condone this. We are evidently attacking. No, just one particular. You're not a fan of.
You don't let him come to the Giants. You'll feel the same way about her, bro. You'll feel the same way about her. Fuck his wife. All right, his wife went on the podcast talking about she fucked his roommate. All right,
just to make him jealous. Yeah,
right.
I remember that story.
Georgia.
It was the backup QB.
The backup. Was it from? I don't know. Was it?
I don't remember who it was.
Wait till you hear this transition, though. Speaking of a team that always screws its fans, let's talk about the Vikings.
There we go. Don't get me started on that bitch. I'm talking about the Vikings.
I'm going to give you the first shot here, Rhino. Tell me a little bit about looking back on this draft class. JJ McCarthy, obviously you're excited about that. I know Dre is. So, Rhino, what are your thoughts looking back on the Vikings draft class? And obviously probably one of the most unfortunate picks, tragic picks as well.
Yeah, that boy was 6'3", right? He was like 6'3",
I think.
right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that
I
was
think,
great.
the 2024 draft class is going to be making more of an impact in 2025, obviously, than it did in 24. JJ McCarthy taking over the keys to the Corvette. Dallas Turner, he was kind of in a little bit of a tight spot last year behind the guys ahead of him that were both, Pro Bowler, all pro guys. He's going to be the third edge rusher this year, so he's going to get a lot more play. I think you're going to see a pretty good year out of him. As you mentioned, the tragic incident with the passing of Kyrie Jackson, I had really high hopes for that kid. And I think that, the team loved him. He made an impact in the short time that he was there. And it was just, real sad that he wasn't able to, show the NFL what he could do. Walter Rouse, he's a developmental offensive line guy that drafted as a tackle. Sounds like they're probably going to be moving him into guard and getting him some play there this year. They like him, and I think they like him inside a lot. So if we don't draft a guard in the draft this year, I think he's going to get. He will be the guy to push Blake Brandel at left guard. Will Reichert was absolutely automatic until he hurt himself, and I think he came back a little quick and wasn't quite the same the second part of the season, but I still have real high hopes for him. Juergens, developmental center. He will be the backup to Kelly this year. Then Levi Drake Rodriguez, he's a guy that the fans kind of have a soft spot for. He's a real high motor, high energy kind of guy that, and he played a little bit last year, not a ton, but, coming in out of seventh round, we knew that he was another one of those developmental type guys that probably will get a little more play this year. And I'm excited to see what he can bring as well. So.
I thought he played real well in the preseason, and then obviously wasn't really featured in the regular season. But when he did get his one opportunity, I liked what I saw from Levi. Yeah,
and in the preseason, that's where the fans kind of got that, kind of gravitated towards him because he's the seventh round guy, and he's got that personality, and he's the high energy. He's kind of I won't say he's John Randall-esque as far as the personality go on the field, but he's got a high motor, and he's got that, kind of trash talking intensity to him but yet he's a funny guy on top of it. So it's kind of a little shades of that, I guess. But yeah, the fans kind of gravitated towards him, and hopefully he can show out something this year.
Well, I'm going to coin his nickname right here on this podcast right now. I'm going to call him the New Deal, LDR, the New Deal.
Okay.
FDR, man, it's late tonight. All right.
LDR, we'll let you come back with another one next week.
The New Deal. All right. Dre, man, it's not hitting tonight. But Dre, what are your thoughts on the draft?
It's better than big KOC.
I don't disagree with anything that he said either. I think that a lot of it is going to make more of a showing this next season, obviously for the reason with McCarthy gone, like I said earlier, out for all of last year. Dallas Turner, I think toward the end of the year, he was doing a lot better than he was at the beginning of the year, whether that came down to just schematics or maybe dog house of Flores, but who knows? But he has a lot of promise. Obviously, I mean, I'm sure at least the other Viking fan here has seen the video of when Kwesi went and got Turner. I think there's a lot of hype around him, and honestly, he was a freak in college. So I'm excited to see him obviously more active because he was doing really well toward the end of the year. Kyrie Jackson, yeah, obviously, like everyone has said already, that was a very tragic situation. Which, yeah, I was prior to that happening, I was excited for him. I was hoping that he was gonna, like I said earlier, getting a lockdown number one corner. I was hoping that would eventually happen with him. And obviously, no matter what, like how I feel about that, like for him to have that unfortunate situation happen, it kind of sucks for him and his family and stuff. So yeah, can't really say too much. I won't add too much more on like the main people of the latter round, except for obviously Will the Thrill. He was the first kicker in a really long time that I didn't have to like get heart palpitations like every time a kicker comes on the field. So yeah, obviously, yeah, like it was said earlier, it kind of he died off a little bit when he came back, but I think like obviously with the off season, I'm pretty confident that hamstring is healed and ready to go. So I feel I'm pretty confident about him. Like in fantasy leagues, I picked him up like I think after maybe week 1 on waivers, and then I held on to him while he was injured, and then I picked up their backup and then brought him back. So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens to him.
So yeah, I mean, when you think about all these this draft, I was most worried about Dallas Turner. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I was worried about him. Obviously, you have some of these players that have made an impact. Kyrie Jackson, he would have made an impact. So I'm really interested to see how Dallas Turner will show up in 2025. But obviously, JJ McCarthy's kind of the key to the whole season, isn't he?
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm so excited.
Like I mean, Williams to you. So,
well, I mean, Caleb Williams has already shown that he's going to be a superstar. So,
I still look back to two photos, both of them against the Vikings. The one where Caleb's laying just flat on the ground. You got the lineman sitting there with the stick, come on, do something thing. And then when he's laying sitting on the bench.
Hey, that's because of the Flus, but be that as it may, I want to go around.
Flus was already gone by that game.
Yeah,
it was a welcome to the NFL game.
The ghost of Flus has finally left. He's already there. Let's go around. Obviously, we have a little bit of time here. We had looked about the schedule a little bit, and obviously, we don't know exactly the schedule, but I want to just go around and kind of like ask each of you what obviously non-division opponent are you most worried about? And so we'll go ahead. JJ, I want to go ahead and start with you. So as far as Packer wise, let's pull up the let's see the Packer home opponents first. Is there a team when you kind of look at some of these opponents that maybe you're most worried about? I mean, it's going to be a tough schedule, and that's just the home schedule. Ravens, Bengals, obviously Commanders, obviously the Cowboys. So, I mean, is there a team that you're most worried about?
You said I have to exclude the division from this?
Correct.
This
yes, because I know everyone's worried about the Bears.
Yeah.
But go. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Ravens and Eagles are probably the most impressive teams outside of the division on this schedule. I mean, to be honest, the schedule outside of the division, it's going to be a fun schedule. Some uncommon opponents. Kind of looking forward to it. I always hate playing the Cardinals, to be honest. Kind of a boring opponent to go up against. Whatever. But for the most part, I'm looking forward to this non-division schedule. I think it'll just be some fun games. Division is going to be tough. Black and blue division for sure.
For sure. What about you, Trev? Packer.
This just in. I'm going to one of these home games this year.
Ooh, very nice.
So I have to just figure out when the schedule is and when I can get time off work. But I'm coming in to Lambeau for the first time in my life.
I'll have to meet you there then, huh?
Absolutely. So, So I'm personally excited about Bengals and Ravens a lot there because we don't play them very often. Those are the two games I'm really interested in. But obviously, I'd love to go see the Eagles play as well. So, but I mean, it's the road ones that I think is where we're gonna get like I mean, we're talking the Giants, right?
Giants are going to be maybe 2-win team.
I don't know what the Dallas Cowboys are going to look like. Cleveland's terrible always. Pittsburgh might be good. Arizona, you never know what you can get them. Denver's surprisingly good this year, so that's going to be an interesting one. I don't know. Well, I guess for me, the home one would be Cincinnati or Baltimore.
And we haven't said anything yet, obviously, because we don't know. It's not official yet, but I think probably the game that's going to be circled around the entire NFL will be the Steelers game, especially with Rodgers being there, right?
He there?
Well, he's going to be there. He'll be there. He's going to be there. And
he doesn't have any other options. He's been standing outside of TCO Performance holding the boombox over his head out front of Kevin O'Connell's window for like the last month.
Come on, son.
And they finally started or turned the water hose on him, I think now. So.
All right. So seventh letter, when you look at the Lions.
The Commanders. I want them.
Okay. I mean, yeah, all right. I want to get obviously everybody's in on the Commanders quarterback, right? And I think he's fantastic. He's good. We just do this with the Texans quarterback with CJ Stroud last year. He had this fantastic season, and then we crowned him the next Caleb Williams. But Caleb Williams is
That's a good point. And we just did this for 3 years with Justin Fields too.
We did. But, all kidding aside, I mean, you never know what adjustments the NFL defense coordinators are going to make.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened with CJ Stroud. His O-line got hurt. That's what happened.
And now the O-line's gone.
Okay, so
O-line and half of his wide receivers are gone. So
that's why anytime someone says anything bad about Caleb Williams and his performance last year, we can also say, I mean, they had one of the worst offensive. Offensive line.
I'm just saying we sat through 3 years of Justin Fields being absolutely horrifically terrible and hearing, just wait next week,
not horrifically
next season,
terrible.
We're going to get a new offensive coordinator. We're going to get a new coach. They're the problem.
They were going to give Fields the gold jacket after he had 3 passes for 99 yards and 3 touchdowns in a preseason game, and none of the passes traveled more than 1.5 yards.
Seventh letter? What did you say? The Bears did to Justin Fields. We did him dirty.
Y'all did him super dirty.
So I think
I'll give you credit.
Talent.
You're at least putting some better players around Caleb than you ever did around Justin. I'll give you that credit.
They gave him a smorgasbord. A smorgasbord.
And yet he still couldn't produce. Crazy.
He produced.
He did.
Oh, absolutely.
By Chicago Bears standards, yeah.
Yes, he did. And
Caleb Williams, I'm gonna be all fairness. Caleb Williams will be, if they protect him, Caleb Williams has all the tools to be very successful. It was that game against us on Thanksgiving where he could have just called timeout, bro. Like it's like down there when it gets kind of clutchy time, it's like he gets sacked all the time. Like he'll get you back in the game, and then when it's time to go ahead, he kind of crossed that and broke that barrier against y'all. I give him against the Packers. I give him that.
He did that versus the Commanders as well, except we had a lapse in a defensive back. So he doesn't get credit for all the times that he led comebacks.
That game shouldn't have been. He don't start playing to the top of the third quarter.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Against the Commanders, I think what do you have, like 60 yards up until
the third quarter.
It was until the fourth quarter, I think it was.
I mean, we're also saying the Commanders were almost the Super Bowl teams, right? So,
the Commanders had a much better coaching staff than y'all. I think that they said that they invested more in the O-line. They got the rookie quarterback. They invested in the O-line, and they got a bunch of veteran players around him. That was another thing. This year kind of showed us that you need coaches and you need some type of veteran leadership in the locker room. And that's exactly what the Redskins have. Now, I hope Debo don't go there and ruin it with the attitude and all that. I hope not. But, he did make them much tougher on offense now. So they're going to be a handful of shit. They got a left tackle now. The O-line was serviceable last year. It was above average last year. It just got a little better.
All they really had for weapons last year was McLaurin.
Right. McLaurin.
I want to rewind a little bit. Seventh letter. You said that the Commanders were a much better roster, or whatever, than the Bears, and yet on the road, we should have beaten them. The Bears should have beaten them. That's how close I think the Bears are. And now with this offensive line,
I said that. I said the Bears were much better team than 5-2. I said that.
You absolutely, yeah. I just want to make sure the rest of the panel hears that. Obviously, how close the Bears are. Same since he since he lost Jordan Addison. Well, some Viking fans want to trade Jordan Addison, which is I don't know.
And those Vikings fans are idiots.
Thank you. Speaking of the Vikings, what about what team are you kind of most worried about, Dre? I'll start with you. For the Vikings in 2025, obviously non-division team.
I mean, I think
there we go. Here we go.
I think Eagles, they have a very dynamic team that's not really that different. I think they're losing obviously some key defensive players, but I think offensively they're pretty much, if not exactly the same, at least as of now. And who knows how he's going to pull off during the draft. He'll probably be able to do something really, I guess, fun or not fun, depending on how you look at it. But other than that, I would say, at least with the home game wise, Commanders, I think, like we've already said, they have a lot of skill that, especially going into the second year, that's going to be a lot. And they added an offensive weapon. Though obviously not the exact same player he was a few years back, but Debo has the ceiling that honestly extremely high ceiling. So I think they could be a lot. I think that's really it. I think the Ravens, as good as Lamar is, I think that they're not as good as I think everyone plays them out to be. I think they're good, but I think they have Lamar, they have that, they have a lot of really great people on paper, but it just seems to me that they're not always they're not able to always get it done. I mean, watching just them play the Bills a few times,
Josh Allen is Josh Allen, so
yeah.
That's tough, right? I mean, obviously, I still love Lamar. I love their defense, but that's gonna be a tough one. Rhino? What about you? And I'm actually thinking of a team here that no one has said yet. But Rhino, what game are you most worried about?
I think our home schedule is significantly tougher than the road schedule. Looking at it here, Eagles, to the point, they're good. I'm going to be interested to see what their defense does after they've lost those players and stuff. So that one's going to be interesting. Commanders interesting. The Ravens, I'm not overly scared of. Got to remember back, Flores has usually always had Lamar Jackson's number. This is the guy that zero blitzed Lamar Jackson 32 times in one game and completely flustered him. Granted, that was 5-6 years ago, but Flores kind of has a way to figure him out. The ones I'm looking at on the road, I think the Steelers game is going to be kind of cool because the way it sounds, that's probably going to be in Dublin, which I think will be cool. And it's a road game, so we don't lose a home game because of it. But the biggest one, I think, looking on the schedule, and I think this is probably the one you're thinking of, Andy, is J.J. McCarthy versus Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers.
Yep, exactly. Yes. Yep.
That'll be an interesting matchup, I think, there, because Harbaugh knows McCarthy better than anybody. Mm-hmm. So,
and I think the Chargers are sneaky good, obviously. So
they absolutely are. They were a playoff team last year, and I think another year under Harbaugh, I think they're going to be better this year, probably. So,
watch out for Najee this year. Najee gonna be good this year.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He went to the Chargers.
Oh yeah.
All right. And did we get your So obviously, we talked about the Lions as well, correct?
Yeah, I want the Commanders. Can't wait.
I mean, I think there are always teams that are going to regress. I think maybe they're it. Maybe the Eagles are it. Obviously, I think division wise, we kind of we have a tough division schedule. I think all of us do as far as the two divisions that we go against, the NFC East and the AFC East. Correct? Yeah. So I don't know. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe the winner of the division is like 10-7 or 11-6. I don't see any of our teams necessarily, going 12, 13 wins with this schedule. Am I wrong on that?
I definitely don't see 15-14 again this year.
JJ, am I wrong on that?
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree with you. I think we're going to beat each other up for sure. Yeah. Especially if the Packers play better in division games this year, then they can hand out some bumps and bruises to the other teams instead of taking all of them.
Tell you what, I'm looking forward to the Bears giving some of those out this year, and it's obviously the optimism is at an all-time high, and I know for those of you who've been along for the ride, I was excited for Fields. I'm that much more, Trev, that much more for Caleb Williams year 2. I am.
Got a Caleb Williams jersey?
Not yet. Although it is funny because as you know, the draft is in Green Bay this year, and we're going in a couple weeks. JJ is gonna be there as well. We're gonna actually staying with where I'm at as well, and here in the Milwaukee area, they're actually already selling like draft stuff, and so I'm actually go ahead and purchasing it ahead of time because it's gonna be cheaper here than it is on site. So it's just it's nuts.
Fun fact, I have a milestone birthday coming up 2 days before the draft, and my wife was going to surprise me with a trip to Green Bay to watch the draft, and I was going to go with one of my closest friends, and it got canceled. So I found out about it, and so it would have been awesome to have been there to meet both of you guys.
Oh, wow, bummer.
So that's why I'm going to a game this year instead.
That'll be better all around. Obviously, I love the draft, and JJ, I know we've met at the draft before.
Yep.
I love the experience, but there's nothing like game day. And obviously, I give Packer fans a hard time, but really, I think there's nothing like game day in Green Bay. Just the whole atmosphere. I mean, JJ, would you compare that draft wise? Game day, Green Bay, kind of better than draft all around?
No comparison.
Yep.
Yeah, no. The draft is standing in one place for all freaking day long.
All
Your
day.
knees hurt.
Yep.
You got to pee so bad. You're so thirsty, and there's drunk people puking all around you. That's the draft. Game day, just a party, especially at Lambeau. When Lambeau gets rocking, there's not a more fun place to be on the planet.
How much?
Isn't everybody having to pee and drunk and puking all around you kind of a staple at Lambeau, no matter if it's a game or draft?
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, at least that's only at the tailgate, though.
The benefit though is you can walk around and you can actually walk to the restroom and stretch your legs a little bit. You're not tuna fished in the Detroit streets. That's
the
benefit.
Nuts. Yeah. What was your question?
So do you guys know what the prices are for tickets for day 1, day 2, day 3?
So with the draft, it's crazy expensive if you want to try to buy, especially day 1, buy in the draft lobby. And for those of us who have been there before, it's free, and you just have to wait all day, and you try to get as close as you can to the edge of the draft lobby, or you get invited. I mean, that's JJ, is that kind of what obviously we've done that in the past?
Yeah, and you can go there and not spend a dime, just the general admission. It's free to get in, but you're going to want to get there nice and early if you actually want to be able to see anything. I actually don't think it would be a crazy idea to bring some binoculars, frankly.
Yeah. So I'm really interested to see kind of how the setup is going to be, and it's different in every place. Kansas City was fantastic because they had the overlook. Detroit was crazy because it was so flat and you really couldn't see anything. What I love, and obviously I stay for all 3 days. The cool thing about that last day, for those of you who maybe are planning on going or haven't gone, is you can kind of wait in a line, and you go right away, wait in a line for when it starts, and you can get in the draft lobby for free. And that's cool. Obviously, the later the rounds 4 through 7, you can kind of see that and be in the draft lobby for free. I think they were even passing out pizza and food for free last year. So, but yeah, I mean, and the thing is too, like, people pay money to be on the sides. You can't really see as well either. So I don't know. For me, that's probably the best. Unless you know somebody in the team, it's really hard to get, especially on day one, or you're a super fan or something like that, to really get in the draft lobby.
Yeah, I went Thursday and Friday last year, and it was a good time. I think the biggest takeaway for me was that I hope this year they have like a bigger vendor selection, more food that you can buy. I mean, even like the draft swag that they were selling, right, there. Like, I pulled up my phone, I'm looking at, what you could have bought online. And I'm like, this is way cooler online than what the vendors actually brought here. So hoping that that's one of the takeaways for the NFL and for the Packers organization who are hosting this year, is that that'd be maybe a place to step it up. And I felt like the food options were a little bit lacking last year.
Absolutely. Especially Seventh Letter, I was not a fan of Mom's spaghetti either. It was trash. I'm gonna say Mom's spaghetti was trash.
It probably was.
It was. Yeah.
I wasn't really a big fan of the food in Detroit either, but I didn't. They had good chicken fingers, I guess.
Well, it's been
Go ahead.
I was saying it's been a fun, just kind of going through the 2024 draft and draft preview. Next week we will go ahead and do our mock draft, one and only mock draft as a podcast, and just for the division teams. But once again, thanks everybody for commenting and joining in as well. And so as we close out, Rhino, where can everyone find you?
Facebook and YouTube at Vikings Uncensored, Twitter X at Vikes Uncensored, and live Saturday night for another one of our draft preview shows. We're looking at interior offensive linemen this week, so getting into the big boys again trying to wrap up some of the positions that we think the Vikings might be targeting early on. So a lot of good discussion on there. So stop by and hang out for a while.
Absolutely. Got to learn intel on those Vikings. And Dre, where can we find you as we close out?
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter, X, or Blue Sky. It's at excuse me, at Skullman Sports. Very good. And as we obviously await the Vikings picks, we also I know we're saying no to Aaron Rodgers, so we're saying no, aren't we? We're saying no.
Yes.
Just say no.
We don't want him back in the division. Go to Pittsburgh or retire.
Yeah.
Okay. Never go full Favre, right?
No, you only got
Favre.
Yeah, you got to go. 2/3 Favre is fine.
Yeah.
So
see, there's a difference. We wanted Favre. We don't want Rodgers.
Yeah. Well, yeah. JJ, where can we find you as we close out?
DerailedFootball.com. That's where you can check out our show every Tuesday night.
Great stuff. Definitely like and subscribe there. I feel like we got derailed a little bit with the New Deal LDR comment.
What we do.
Hey. I try to class it up here. I try to class it up and bring in comments that are not just football, but are from life. And someone who is always bringing up fantastic stuff. Trev, where can I find you?
He can find me everywhere at RevTrevNFL. and love the follow. And yeah, thanks for having me on.
And you're gonna have some fantastic kind of draft snippets and all those videos coming up. I'm guessing as well, right?
That's the plan.
You always have some fire content. I don't always agree with it, but I always love it. Always love the energy, and you bring it every single week as well. And seventh letter, obviously, you bring it every single week as well. I really don't feel like I got you going this week. So, we didn't talk about, our basketball game, anything like that, but we'll leave that for another day. Where can we find you as we close out?
I'm sorry about that, man. I'm really, really, really sleepy.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
I started school again, so I'm really, really sleepy. So I apologize.
Hey, you're bettering yourself.
Yeah. I went to the gym today too. So
very nice, very nice. And
seventh letter 4, Twitter, X, same OG, Facebook, Instagram, and I'm still gonna bust your ass. I saved the best for last.
There it is.
I was waiting for that.
I'm still gonna bust your ass. And I think we should aim for the summer.
Let's do it.
So I'm giving you time to get in shape.
All right, I'm already in shape. I've done last couple nights. I did an hour on the elliptical each day. I'm ready.
Nice. What's that gonna do for your? How gonna do to your joints, bro? Like
it's sliding. It helps me slide.
No, bro. Hey, Trev, coach this bum. You gotta coach him, yo. Coach this bum. All right.
I haven't even seen him take a shot yet, so I'm a little worried about his form.
Scoop and a score. I got a scoop and a score.
Remember, it's got to be a little space.
Actually, this is how I shoot. My elbow's out. So
geez.
Don't forget to hit the square in the back of the backboard.
Elbow in.
Look where the ball at. Look where the ball at. Now I'm 6'5". He's 5'11".
Holy smokes, you're 6'5"?
Yeah.
This is how I do it. I scoop it around.
I thought you were 5'5". No, just kidding.
I scoop it around. I tell you, I'm
here, and he's 5'8", 5'10".
And then I fake it out, and I come around just like the Bears. Everyone is sleeping on my Bears.
Oh no! His real form. You saw his real form. It's the ball. It's the volleyball shot. No.
6'5". Jeez.
You're gonna be in trouble, bro.
I'm staying out of the basketball conversation here because my basketball career ended in junior high. They called me Tragic Johnson when I played. It was so bad.
Hey,
Tragic Johnson.
I only got better since middle school. Self-talk.
Yeah, your son beat you yet?
No, not yet. We have not played.
Okay.
We have not played yet, but he will have a lesson very soon. Once
I bet my son could beat both you and your son.
Probably. Once again, this has been the Freezin for NFC North Podcast. Definitely appreciate everyone following along. And we will catch you next week for
the Canucks are out.
Oh, they're out, darn it. Canucks are out.
That's why I look depressed.
So next week we'll do our mock draft, and then we will actually, and we might even be in the same location. We'll probably be in the same location on Wednesday night then for the night before the first round. We'll do that live from Green Bay and all that stuff. But find me on NFLOutdated on YouTube, on the Twitter X, and find us on Freezin #4 pod on the TikTok. And once again, thanks again, everybody, for joining. This has been an NFC North podcast, and we'll catch you again next week. Bear down.
Let's go.